Hello and welcome to the podcast, where we are here to strengthen music careers and communities one song at a time. And now here's your host, Jacob Wing. Yay!
Hey everybody, here with a special guest today, out of state, great musician, great artist. We will have everything down below, but before we do, Mr. Cody Bartels, thank you so much. In Missoula, one night tonight. Stop by to give us a chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
So lucky to have you. Well, let's get right into it. I want to start in the beginning with you. A lot of people, especially in this area where we branch out to and try to get the word out to, haven't quite got to meet you or see a show yet. So let's learn about you. Where did you first, were you born? Where does this originate?
So I'm from Tacoma, Washington, kind of the rural Tacoma, not the big city part of Tacoma. I grew up in kind of a melting pot of an area. There was a lot of different walks of life, lots of different, what's the word I'm looking for? Social classes? Is
right.
That, yeah.
Yep.
Lots of different people, lots of immigrants. And it was really kind of interesting growing up in a place where there's real immigrants from lots of different places, from Russia, from Asia, from all over the place. Mm-hmm. So it's just really a melting pot in that area.
Yeah, Tacoma, I mean, it's everything I've had interaction. I used to work in the fruit industry, so you'd go over there and there'd just be so many people doing fruit work from different cultures, from different backgrounds. I mean, I can really see how that could really give you a really good broad spectrum.
For sure. Yeah, I was super grateful to, of course, like all high schools, my high school was pretty cliquey, but
right.
It was very interesting to see like so many different people all in the same, from different backgrounds. It's a really cool area. Whereas in Montana, a lot of times, people think of Montanans and they kind of, they know what they're talking about.
If you put that stereotype up, it's pretty much 90% of the time. Nailed it.
Yep.
That's too funny. So, okay, that's where you get your upcomings, you go through high school, and I know doing a little bit of research in your background, checking your Instagram, you did some rodeo back in the day?
Yeah, so I high school rodeoed back when, I guess I junior rodeoed, then high school rodeoed, ended up getting a scholarship and going to school down in Wyoming.
Really?
And rode on the college team down there for a year and a half. And it was a lot of fun.
I saw you did bull riding, is that right?
Yep.
Oh, that's bulls. A special kind of person.
You bet. Yeah, especially stupid, right?
Well, that's amazing. So at the same time, are you, interested in music? Did you music in high school? Where did you get your introduction to music?
So when my grandpa passed away when I was 14, he gave me his guitar, and I started learning a few songs on that. Then my parents bought me my first acoustic guitar, and I kind of just started playing around the campfire at rodeos and learning songs that my buddies wanted to hear. And then in 2021 is when I decided I was going to be in a band and really do something. I studied music in college and did some recording projects and kind of dabbled a little bit and dipped my toes and tried it out. And then in 2021, I really was like, I'm going to do this.
Did the pandemic have anything to do with that at all, or just natural progression?
Just natural progression. During the pandemic was when I wanted to start playing. And then so I was like reaching out to bars. And then all of a sudden we were all locked inside. So I think that it just kind of came from something I wanted to do for a long time and finally just made it happen.
Well, fantastic. Let's talk about your musical influences then. So you decided you want to do this. What are the influences? What are you listening to as a kid, into high school? How's your musical taste changing?
Yeah, so my dad raised me on real country music.
Okay,
what we call real country music, right? George Strait, Alan Jackson, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, and...
Did the interview just for you, we had Tanner on, Tanner Laws, for our 100th episode. Same kind of influence, that old school country.
100%.
That's good stuff.
That's why me and Tanner are buddies.
Yep.
But no, we, like I said, going to high school in such a melting pot of an area, I got influenced. There was hip hop, there was pop, there was jazz. I played in jazz band in high school and college. Okay. Played alto saxophone.
Wow.
So I would just have all these different sounds and styles of music that influenced what I'm doing now.
Very makes sense.
You bet.
So as you're moving along here, and so did you play in any number of bands, or how did you start getting out and playing music?
Yeah, so I never really wanted it to go the way it's going now. I wanted to be in a band, like I
Right.
wanted to be like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin and be in a rock band. And so I was in a country band for a second, and that didn't work out. Then I played bass in a punk band, and then sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, that's
What were
okay.
we
So
just
you're
talking about?
just the bands that you were in, and that you what you wanted to do was to be in, heavier bands, rock bands, punk
Yeah,
bands,
yeah.
but you wound up somewhere different.
Yeah, and it was never meant to be the Cody Bartels band, you know?
Right.
We used to go by a band named the Evergreen Playboys, but the guys behind me changed so often that it was like, I guess it is kind of just me. Like
Right.
it's my songs, I'm pushing the envelope and then I've just got a backing
Yeah, and
band.
then they come in and fill in what's needed.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about that. We talked about that again last episode with Tanner quite a bit, and I find this absolutely fascinating because to me, it's one of the most difficult part about being a modern musician is forming a band and keeping that rolling. What has that
100%.
been like? When did you first get the band rolling, get guys behind you, and what has that process been like?
It's a long, hard road. My buddy Joel Gibson Jr., he's a fellow artist, and he always says playing country music is the easy part. Keeping at least four guys together and getting along, that's the tricky part,
Smart
right?
man, smart
So
man.
it started with my guitar player at the time. I was doing some duo shows with my buddy Dragon, and we started doing duo shows, and he's like, dude, you got to play with a band. Like, your songs would be really fun to play with a band. And I was like, okay. So we started, funny story, we started in a storage unit.
Oh, really?
And yeah, there was a place that, it was called a rehearsal space, but we got there and it was just a storage
Right,
unit.
right.
With a couple of guitar amps and stuff. But it started with, I would kind of just, anybody who was interested, I'd like give them a shot. And then that turned into, oh, okay, well, we kind of got to read between the lines a little bit more. We can't just throw anybody up there to play. So, like I was telling you before, the lineup has changed over and over and over again. And I'm pretty happy with the guys I'm playing with now.
Let's
so.
give them a bit of shout out. Who are you playing with right now at the moment?
So on this tour, I've got Logan Kent, his brother Loudon Kent. They both have their own band called The Entourage. It's
Cool.
It's a
Very
rock
cool.
band. And then Devin Bland is my drummer. He plays in a lot of other country bands. He plays in a couple rock bands. And he's kind of I won't go on tour without that guy.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's great.
Wow.
He's the backbone for sure.
Well, that's really cool. And shout out to those guys. They're playing again tonight in Missoula. We're airing in the same night. But of course, if you guys go out and see a show anytime, we'll have all the links below. We'll have everything. You can go see what show he's doing. Check out our socials. Of course, other things you can check out is his music. You've done some great recordings. Just so happens today that you also had a drop of a song today, Back to You, I believe it's called.
Yep.
Let's talk about that. What was that like? I know it's an acoustic version, your vocals, and I believe some pedals still.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? What's all about this song? Let's hear about the story behind this.
So we wrote down, or we sat down to write a song. It was me and my guitar player Logan, and then our buddy Kenny Callahan. And we sat down. We're like, yeah, let's write something. And I had this little riff idea, chord progression, and so we started playing over it. And it just kind of reminded us of like the Eagles, or
Gotcha.
Tom Petty, kind of like traveling music. And so traveling is kind of a recurring thing in my music, just because it's something that I love to do.
I've noticed that.
And so it started there, and when we were kind of like, oh, I've been playing so many gigs especially last year. I played, I think, 176 gigs.
Oh, that's when you're doing it for real.
And so I had just been doing it so much. That's where my head was at. That's where my heart was at. But then as we got to the second verse, and as I started to look deeper into what I was writing, I realized that a lot of my experiences from rodeoing kind of came out. And in the lyrics that I wasn't intentional, but I was like, wait a minute, like, this isn't just a song about a musician. This is a song about a bull rider or a blue collar worker that's working out of town.
I
or
hear
somebody
that.
who's
Okay.
in the military overseas. Like, it does open it up to a broader audience.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just great. I love your earlier stuff. Everything you did, it really exposes you. Like, you're really honest in what you do in your music. And this one felt like there was a step forward, like almost a maturing even. And I just love the direction you're going. And if you aren't, follow him now, because I can only see you getting better and better and growing bigger and bigger.
I appreciate that.
And of
Thank
course, go get it down, stream it, download it, get it, listen to it. It's a great song. So just before we're wrapping up here, just so we can dig a little bit deeper and people get to know you a little bit better, I'm going to ask you two questions that kind of have to do with each other. First, I want to know about what's been your biggest win in music to date?
This is gonna sound kind of corny, but I think that anytime I get the opportunity to get on a stage and play music, that's a win for me. That's
a great answer.
I really love playing. Like, there's a lot of people that I meet that they get frustrated really easy with having to play all the time, and I completely understand. I play a lot too, but man, I love it. I really, really love it.
See, when somebody says a corny answer, I like this might be corny. That tells me it's going to be honest and truthful. I love that. That just nails it. And how about just your biggest struggle to date, what you've learned from it, and how you're going to handle that going forward?
I think my biggest struggle is honestly myself. I think that a lot of artists are like it though, and can relate to overthinking, and you're always your biggest critic and your own worst enemy, Me and my band, we rehearsed a lot for this tour. We've been working our butts off with vocal harmonies and working on getting the rhythm section together, and we've done so much work. And our first couple of shows, it was like, oh wait, like we did the work already. This is the fun part. We just gotta let loose and have fun and play the show.
All right, that's a great mentality.
So, yeah, I think that just staying out of my own way and not worrying about what other people are thinking and just doing it because I love it,
It makes a lot of sense. That is fantastic. And we got to learn a lot about you. Thank you so much. Again, please take the time, follow the links. All his tour dates will be available. If you can catch him on this tour, that'd be great. Or if you're in the Northwest or heading to Washington, be sure to catch these guys. Cody Bartels, thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
And again, he's going to play that new song for us right here in our Between the Logs series. So be watching for that. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.